How was it leaving the Bulls? Like, was it a bittersweet situation?
I think it was time.
It was time.
It was time. You know, I'd started doing a lot of like this violence prevention work, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of got to me. It was just too much going on the outside. Like, you know, you do all these things and you try to do right in the community, and then you hear kids dying and kids that was around, they're not here. You see just the energy that some of these kids have to deal with in this city. You know, this is not things that like I was accustomed to. Like, this is not things that I grew up around. And just to feel the pain that some of the kids that I was working with had to deal with, like, it really hit different. And I think it started affecting me even on the court, you know, because I felt like as a player, I was just getting more and more into it. And it was just like, I couldn't have that same energy on the court. I was mentally drained. And that was tough. That was tough. And like injuries, lost my confidence. I remember Dirk coming over to the crib. My family, like, we cooked for Dirk. I remember that night, one of his homies got killed we were breaking bread with. It was just like so much shit was going on. I'm in the United Center, they're asking me all kinds of questions. Like, it was just time, man. It was just, you know, it was like, it wasn't all just peaches and cream. It's when it was time to leave here, there was a lot of moving parts. Pooh got traded. Jimmy was hot.
Mm-hmm.
It was time for Jimmy to take over. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just time for me and Pooh to move on.
Yeah. You talked about some violence prevention. I know you, obviously, I'm working with you. We doing shout out one
commissioner.
City.
Yeah.
Shout out one city.
The commissioner, TA.
Yeah. The
CBI in the building.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, talk about your introduction to that field of, you know, violence prevention. And how long you been doing it and what led you to that?
Well, I think that for me, it was like I had an opportunity to see how my father was moving in the tennis. And, you know, seeing when you're African, you know, social work is, you expected to do that. So I got to see my dad do it at a high level, what he was doing, building tennis courts in the neighborhoods all across France and in Cameroon as well. So I was just able to see his social work. And I knew that was something that I wanted to do when I came to, you know, when I was able to have my own money and platform like a Chicago Bulls. I'm like, all right, let me do something, not knowing what violence prevention is. I just knew that violence was an issue in the city, not knowing where this was going to take me. And I remember watching a documentary called Interrupters. And I'm like, this shit moved me, bro. I was like, yo, this is what's going on in this city. Like, this is not at all what I was accustomed to. And I tweeted something like, yo, you guys got to check out the Interrupters. This is a must. If you're from Chicago, this is a must watch. I get a tweet back from guy Kobe Williams, who was doing all the mediations in the documentary. And we kicked it the next day. You know, we had lunch and we talking and we chopping it up. And it's like the next thing you know, it's like, yo, this is my brother. Like, we're really close. Man, God is good, man, because it could have been any knucklehead off the street, but just seeing how he moved, like, okay, you're from this background, but you're able to go to this background and you can go to this neighborhood. Like, how did that even happen? How can you do that? Like, because there's a lot of these kids are living in these like invisible sectors, really, sections that, I mean, sure you guys, you know, you guys had to live that. And that was things that I didn't even know exist. I didn't even know it was like that. But just to see the way that Kobe moved in it, I thought was really inspiring to me. We were able to bring kids from all different backgrounds. Okay, now you guys are at the Bull. You guys like the Bulls, right? So we get 20 tickets at the Bulls games. You guys are sitting with each other. We can chop it up after the game. So it just started off of, okay, where do we find common ground with the guys who might be into it in the streets or whatever, but now you're at the game and you're sitting down and then we having a conversation after the game. So I took the time. We'd go to Major Adams on the West Side. We had a basketball league. My mom would come with me. She would do art therapy with them. Like, we were like, it wasn't just give money and just bounce. It was like, okay, we were really in it and doing the work ourselves. Like, if we were doing a basketball league, I got a mic. I'm talking shit on the mic.
Put some flavor into
it. Put some flavor into it. And now and then like we went to St. Sabinus. St. Sabinus, we did our basketball league, and it was gangs playing against each other.
Right, showing them that they can coexist.
And everybody thought we were crazy.
Right.
Who comes in the church? I'm in the church. Like, all the reporters are in the church. The mayor comes. Like, it was a thing. It was a thing. The Nation of Islam doing the security. And that hit different. I was like, man, we in a church with the nation. Everybody putting their differences aside for the good of the neighborhood. Like, that was the most powerful shit ever. So that's the origins of One City. After that, I was like, okay, we're on to something.
Mm-hmm.
And when I retired, I went to Springfield. I went to go see the governor. And I was like, look, putting in a lot of time and a lot of money and resources in the community. I need some state funding. And, Pritzker gave me $2 million to do my programs with Kobe Williams. And it was just like being able to get all the OGs to come, and this is what we want to do. We want to do a basketball league where we bring the city together and have the right conversations, some workshops, some financial literacy. And not just, obviously, this is a lot bigger than just a basketball league. So I'm really proud of what we built, and I really feel like it's just the beginning.